look at what we made. A decadent chocolate peanut butter filled gourmet cookie. And it is beyond delicious. So if you want to know how to do this, I'll give you the secret right now. Just come on into my kitchen. I'm making them this very instant. I'll see you over there. Good morning, it's Grandma Roseanne, and we are going to make a delicious cookie, and I'm making it for my friend Brian. Hi, Brian. Brian likes and really enjoys the flavor of peanut butter these days, so we're going to make a chocolate peanut butter cookie. Now, I'm prepared to tell you this is one of the best cookies I think I've ever eaten. It is so delicious. I made it just a couple of days ago. Halfway through the filming, my camera stopped. Oh dear, we have to make it again. I don't mind making it again, trust me. All right, now here I have a half a cup of peanut butter. You can't go wrong with that. A half a cup of powdered sugar, which I have sifted. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm just going to mash this all together. And we're going to do this until we don't see any more white. I don't know if you have any of these little tiny scoops, but oh my goodness, they come in so handy for so many things. And this is one of them. Now we're going to portion this out into 12 portions at about 2 teaspoons per little ball. I'm going to do the 12 first to make sure I'm getting 12 here, and then we're just going to kind of roll it out. I have to go in and steal from some of the fat ones to boost up these last 2 that I didn't calculate correctly. I think we're pretty good. Now we just roll them into little balls. Smooth them out. And if they're not exact, you guys, it's not going to make a difference in the end cookie. Now that we have these beautiful little balls, I'm going to transfer them into my freezer. They're going to be there for 30 minutes. So our next step, in a separate bowl, you want 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of Dutch processed chocolate cocoa, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And we just want to whisk that together. You want to be sure they're well combined, so give it a good whisk. And we're going to set that aside for a minute. And I'm using Ghirardelli's bittersweet chocolate. I need 6 ounces. And this I will weigh out. If you don't have a scale, just do your best. Use a measuring cup. We know that a full cup is 8 ounces, so a little bit less. And to this, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And 1 tablespoon of butter. So now we're going to put the mixture into the microwave, and we're going to just keep it there until it's melted. Be very, very careful, because at this stage you can burn the chocolate, and if you burn it, throw it away. There's no bringing it back. Trust me, I've done it. So I'm going to just do like 30 seconds and then stir, 30 seconds and stir until it's completely melted. And while my microwave is doing its magic on my chocolate, you are to put your racks in your oven in the upper, middle, and lower middle shelves, okay? And set your oven at 300 degrees. So for me to be fully melted, it took me 1.5 minutes, but I did stop every 30 seconds and stir it. Be sure to do that. Now 1 teaspoon vanilla. And mix that in very nicely. In my bowl, I have 1 cup of sugar, And I'm going to add 2 eggs. And with a spatula, we are just going to combine this until it's thoroughly combined. And just about now, are you asking yourself, dear Lord, is this recipe ever going to stop? Because that's what I did the first time I did this. But oh my goodness, you guys, if you want gourmet cookies, you've got to put in a little bit of effort. But none of the steps we're doing are difficult. They're really not. They're very simple. There's just a lot of them. Now to this, we're going to add our last 4 ounces of chocolate. And it's really wonderful when you have the chocolate cookie itself, but then as you bite in, you get those extra little chunks of chocolate, which are pretty amazing. And now we're going to add in our melted chocolate. So we're going to mix this all in together. And now we bring back our flour and cocoa mixture and we combine. And obviously we just mix this together. Flowers are in my way here. Aren't those beautiful though? I love those flowers. I love it when you find them and they've got that little tint of green to them. So beautiful. This smells really good. Okay, we're good because we're totally combined. You can't see any of the flour. Now this is funny because when I reread the recipe, it says to divide this into 16 portions. And I thought, but we only have 12 balls. I misread the recipe. So 4 of these beautiful are going to be just straight up chocolate cookies because I messed up. We're going to portion these out to about 1.5 ounces. It's about 3 tablespoons. And I will admit to you, this is one of the more complex cookies I have ever made, but the end result is outrageously good. We obviously ended up with more than 16 cookies here, but the recipe did say take the remaining dough and just distribute it. I didn't do that. I kept them at about 3 tablespoons, and then I just made extra cookies that will not have the filling. They're still going to be delicious. We're going to press this out to about 3 inches. The balls are getting in my way here. I found it easier to use a little spatula to help me get this done. And the first one I am going to measure because I want to have a pretty decent guideline. Well, that was pretty quick. I got it right on the money. And the dough at this stage is very easy to work with. Okay, we have our 12. Even though it should be 16, we're okay with 12. Now we will get the little balls out of the freezer. Put 1 ball in the center and just fold it up. Just like this. You want to be as good as you can be about getting it totally closed up. Give it a good little round shake here. Give it a good little press. Because you don't want it coming out. You don't want the peanut butter seeping out during the cooking. And I have 1 cup of sugar. I'm going to roll the little ball in the sugar and set it on the parchment. Easy breezy. The first time I did this, I was very, very careful to lap it over and make sure. No, just squeeze it in there and then squeeze it shut and then roll it. All you're trying to do is just seal that little peanut butter ball in there. And some of mine did not seal. I'm gonna tell you, they were just as good. Put some pressure on that ball as you're rolling it. It will make a difference. And like this one, I notably see a crack there. So I'm just going to like Play-Doh. I'm just gonna fill it up. I found when I did this the first time, I was far more careful about being cautious to put them together. Now just squeeze them shut and roll them. They'll be fine. Now for my last ones here that I did not read my recipe correctly. And you guys, that's okay. Stuff happens. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and roll with it. Make a different cookie out of it. I'm going to flatten them, sugar them on both sides, and that's the way we're going to roll with this one. There is no way it cannot be good. Cooking time may be a little bit different, so I will watch that. I can feel the difference in the dough on these last ones as compared to the first ones. Your dough has the ability to dry out, so this is not the time for you to go take a break. Deal with them at this point until you get them in the oven. So we have our 12 plus our little flat guys. And I am just going to, because I've got the extra sugar here, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more on the top of them. Little sugar never hurt anybody. Well, you have positioned your racks and your oven should already be preheated to 300 degrees. We're going to pop these in for about 22 minutes. I'll be back. Well, we're finished and we have our gourmet chocolate cookies with the peanut butter fill and the ones that have no fill. So I think we deserve a taste. Let me take a taste of this one. Oh, wow. That is outrageous. Oh, let me show you the middle. You see that? In all of its glory? Wow. This is definitely a keeper. Now, the one over here, where I didn't count correctly, let's see what that is. I will tell you honestly, I prefer this one, but if you don't want to go through the trouble of making the balls and doing all of that, this one is an excellent, excellent cookie. And they both cook for the same amount of time. They went for 22 minutes. So I do hope you'll try them. Yes, this one takes a little bit more effort. It's so worth it, you guys. It's so worth it. It is really delicious. Come back. I'm filming every Saturday and I slide a lot of them in during the week. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and anytime you want to spend time in my kitchen, I welcome you. And Brian, for you, if this is just too much for you to handle, I think you told me your sister loves to cook. Ask her to do them for you. Bye, you guys.